Now we have relationship expert Vicky here to talk to us about boundaries. I have to say, boundaries is one of those things, right? Nobody wants to talk about it, but everyone needs it.
Everybody requires it. And I do believe I prefer calling it designing my life.
I like that.
I do too. I love it when we feel like we're in control
Yeah.
of what it is that we're deciding and what we'll accept and what we won't.
So is boundaries something more like when you're married, or is it more something that you should be practicing when you're single and then going into that relationship?
Well, I would say both, but I do think that they act differently. I think that we have to sort of embrace it differently when we're single versus when we're in a cohabitative relationship. So when we're single, I think we need to really figure out who we are, what we want, what we need.
Yeah.
And if I could speak to the single people of the world right now, I mean, that would be the ideal situation, is to figure out, what do I want in my life? How do I attract that?
Yeah.
And then practicing my no muscle.
And that's a big thing too. Like you were even talking about, like backstage, talking about, having that no muscle on a first date. Sometimes we feel pressure to go on the second date, the third date, and we're just dragging it along. So how do we do that?
Yeah, we're not serving anybody when we say yes to a second date and we're not feeling it,
It's
right?
not like wine. It doesn't get better. It just gets worse from there.
It does, actually. I think that it's just really important that we respect and honor our own boundaries. We decide what those look like, and then we go, okay, you know what? How do I execute and practice this?
Yeah.
You got to go out on dates. You have to meet people, and then you'll figure it out. It'll all sort of work itself out, but you have to be willing and strong enough to use the no muscle.
So that's the big thing too, is like, it's really hard for us to self-reflect. How do you actually find out what your boundaries are?
That really is going to be that's an exercise.
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that you're looking at your experiences. What do you need in order to thrive? What feels good to you?
Yeah.
What do you need to feel good? Do you need love, respect? What does that look like? So, and I think that it's something that a lot of times as couples and, maybe coming out of a relationship, that's your time to really explore and figure it out so that you can go into a new relationship.
And a lot of times what happens is you go for a rebound, right? Like, we're so scared to be alone that we're just like, let's just get to the next one.
I agree. I think that this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I like a year. I think a year is really important to take that time, self-reflect, figure it out. So then you can go into the world knowing what you want. You're not wasting your time or anybody else's.
And you're not repeating the same process. Because a lot of times when we're looking and we go to the rebound, it's the same person, just with a different name.
Exactly right. And let's talk about a cohabitative relationship. If we are already in a relationship and we are with somebody who can hear that our boundaries are changing, because sometimes that happens. As we grow as a couple, our boundaries can change, but you have to be in a communicative relationship where you feel like you can bring that up, where you can be heard.
And that's what it is in a relationship. It's about communication. That's really the foundation of any good relationship.
I agree.
Thank you so much, Vicky.